If you clicked on this video, you probably want to use a Dithering shader that looks like this. So I've decided to share the material shader, outline, and rim lighting all in one Blender file. I've enabled most of the settings you'd need to achieve this pixelated effect, so all you really need to do simplified is import a character from Roblox Studio, make it compatible, and configure things to your liking. I tried to make sure not to overcomplicate things, but it would be ideal if you had at least some basic Blender knowledge beforehand. If you're ready, then let's start. Before you do anything in Blender, we'll need to take a character from Roblox Studio. Assuming you already have a character, make sure it's standing on the center of the map. Then, to export the character, right-click it on the Explorer, find the Save or Export option, export to OBJ, and then choose a location for your character model. Alright, so when you start up the Blender file, you'll see this shadow over here that I've left so you can sort of preview what the shader should look like. We can delete this for now because we want to import our character from Roblox Studio. If you haven't already, I recommend you download the Roblox Animations Importer/Exporter plugin. I'll be linking both the Blender add-on page and the GitHub page in the description. Once you've gotten the file, you can go to Edit, Preferences. On the Add-ons tab, go to this drop-down over here, press Install from this, and then look for the zip file. Press Install from this again here. Now, while you have the character collection selected in the outliner, go to File, Import, select the new option called Roblox Rig, look for your character OBJ, and then import rig data. This will let you have each part of the character separated, because if you import it normally, all the character's parts would be merged into one model, and that wouldn't be ideal for animation. The liner should work, but you might need to undo and then redo for it to be visible, like this. If it still doesn't show up, just select the object, go to the modifier properties, and then reassign it to the collection. If it still doesn't pop up, it's probably because you had the character's objects exported into the wrong location like this. If so, just select them, either in the viewport or in the outliner, and then drag them into the character collection. It will most likely appear with these random inconsistent lines all over the items. That's because there's this weird quirk where Roblox imported models tend to have separated faces. To fix this issue, let's select each part of the character again while in object mode. Press Tab to go into edit mode, A to select all, and then M, and select Merge by Distance. It will probably mess up some of the shadows, so over here go to Mesh, Normals, and then Set from Faces, while everything is still selected, of course. Now if you press Tab again, the outline should be working as intended. There will be one thicker outline for the edges of the character, and then a thinner one for lines inside. Right now it's a bright pink, so to change its colors, while the liner object is selected, we can press this sphere thing to go to Material Properties, and change the color to something that would fit the character more. I tend to keep the outside outlines black and the inside outlines a color that would match the main color of the character. So for Noisemaker, I've set it to a dark blue. In the file, I've also left a empty face object. We can parent this to the head by selecting it, clicking the head, and then Control P, set to object, so that whenever you move the head around, the face will follow. With the pen tool selected, you can already draw if you want, but it won't be glued to the head yet. So first select the head, and then the face, and then while you're in draw mode, from this drop down over here, click this. Make sure this is set to surface, and project onto selected is ticked. This will let you draw while immediately snapping to the head. If you find that any of the strokes are clipping into the object, you can open this and change the offset. But in my case, they're working just fine. I also usually set the brush size to something thin like 0.03. Okay, now we have the outline, the face. Let's assign the material shader to the character. Go to the shading tab over here, select a body part of the character, go to the material properties here, open this drop down, and set everything to the Dithering shader. Next, let's reassign the character's texture. Press this folder icon here, and then look for something that starts with either the character's name or rig_div. It should look like the character's body parts, but stretched. Select it, then press open image here. Now in my case, the hat and drum look weird because their textures have been exported separately since they were too large to merge with the main texture. We can make a duplicate of the material for those items. Open another image and then look for their respective textures. Now if you look over to this node group over here and press tab to look into it, this is where you can change the colors of the shader. This is the color of the pixels in the shadow. This is the color of the base shadow. This is the flat color or the base color of the shadow. And then this is the color of the lit area. We can press tab to go out again. I've made it into a group node so that when we made the separate material for the hat and drum, or if you want to put in another character into the scene and you wanted to change the color of the shader, you wouldn't need to copy and paste the colors over and over again. Okay, so now for the rim lighting, let's go to the Compositing tab. So we'll need to make a render. And then now we'll be able to see our rim lighting. Over here, this is where you can change the color. This is to change the transparency. You can make it entirely gone if you don't like how it looks. And over here is to change the direction. I've purposely made the background transparent so that I could just simply take the silhouette or transparency of the character and then color the outsides. If you want to add a background, you'll need to put it onto a different view layer or add it back in video editing. Hey, thanks for reaching to the end of this video. I hope this had some value to you. This was supposed to be like a gift for reaching 100k subscribers, but I think I'm a few weeks late to that already. This video was originally going to be much more complicated where you had to configure most things from the beginning, but then I figured out that it's probably more efficient to just create a file where I wouldn't need to toggle a bunch of things for 15 minutes. If you're interested in how the Dithering effect works, you should go to this blog here. I've probably also linked it in the description. I followed this person's work as the base of my shader. I don't have a proper end scene or outro as you call it, so thank you again. Hope you have a great time.